SabesWings, we've come such a long way in a short period of time, a little over 2.5 years now that we have started this up with our first event. This will be our third event. It's amazing how many people have come to our aid for our cancer warriors. Like I said, we couldn't be doing this without our board members. Each and every one of them have brought so much to the table. We had our first board retreat this year, which was amazing, and we learned so much on how to go about everything that we're doing. And so our board members have been instrumental in really bringing a lot of people to the table and a lot of needs that we have met. And then you go behind the scenes with Candace A. Strike, Brenda Deshawn, Christine Rogers, and of course my beautiful wife. It's been amazing. This team is powered by women, some strong women, and like I say, behind every strong woman there's me, this guy. So we're very happy to not only be in California right now, but in 14 states. We're very proud of that. We continue to grow, and we continue to need support from each and every one out there. So our message is being heard. It's very strong. Our recipients, our cancer warriors, are being helped all over the place, and we're very fortunate to have a few in the audience tonight.
And we love the aspect of working with the patients one-on-one. We've gotten to know quite a few of them over the course of this last year, the last 2 years really, and finding their stories. What we've realized is no two are alike, and that's been probably the oddest, since they all have the commonality of cancer, but also the most beautiful, because their story speaks their path, and hearing their words motivates us to do more. And hearing Raquel and her story, but then seeing Kendall, this adorable 7-year-old, then you have the warriors, the cancer warriors like Tammy Motley, who's gone through breast cancer and really didn't know who her circle was at that point in time and relied heavily on her husband. And that relationship between the two of them was beautiful.
Tim, amazing support, and like I said, behind every woman there's a guy, and Tim was definitely that guy in that story.
All of our cancer warriors are beautiful, and when you look at Stacy, you see her beauty immediately. And she has gone through so much tremendous hardship just to fight to be here. And she is so strong and motivated. She was diagnosed shortly after newly being married, 10 days. And she really just wanted a voice in life to be able to carry on. And she's done a tremendous job with advocating for herself. I'm so proud of her.
And then Katie, another great story. And we're very fortunate to be able to help all these different people in their own different stories, as Candace said. I just love the passion that each individual that we come across when you hear a loved one is diagnosed with cancer. But then you throw in the fact that the treatments are going to be too expensive for you to do, and you don't have the financial means to do those treatments. It's unfair. But I guarantee you, just about everybody in the audience tonight would do what they had to, whether it be mortgage their house, borrow money, start up a GoFundMe page to keep that loved one alive and to make a difference in their life. There's so many treatments out there that are really helpful and that are making a difference, that aren't the chemo and it's not the radiation, that are available. You've got to search for them, but they're costly. And I know just about everybody in this room would do the same thing to keep their loved one alive. And it's sad that we have so much wealth in the United States, but families are going bankrupt because of cancer.
In 2021, when I was re-diagnosed for a third time, and when I learned, it was right before, the holiday season. It was in November, I believe. And I didn't want to tell my parents at first because the holidays were coming up and I didn't want to feel like I was going to ruin, you know, the holiday time. And I didn't know what to do. And should I tell them? Should I not tell them? And so I did end up telling them, and they were grateful. But it's hard. And every time I do, my mom cries, but she's supportive and strong. But it's always something that I put into consideration, is not just how the diagnosis is going to impact me, but the people that love me and are there for me. I have all these out-of-pocket expenses, I have all this stress, and I just realized I need to be doing something differently for myself, my son, you know, my health, my future. Just the infusions alone are almost $60,000. Yeah, and that doesn't cover doctor's visits, PET scans, I mean, nothing else. That's just the infusion.
My diagnosis was invasive ductile carcinoma, stage 3A. And that was on September 26th in 2021 when I was diagnosed. So I used to see a naturopathic doctor, and she's the one who called me. I was at home when she called me with my diagnosis. And she said, "It's bad. It's real bad." I shut down for a while because, you know, what are you supposed to do? It's a pretty big, the big word. Cancer is a big word. And I didn't know hardly anyone who had had cancer, and everyone I did know of had passed away from it. So of course in your mind you go, well, it's a death sentence. And I thought, after I went through that shutdown, I said, okay, I'm okay. This isn't gonna kill me. I go to the oncologist to finally make an appointment to see the oncologist. And she sits you down and she goes, "Oh, this is where you're at. And it's not a good place. It's not the worst place. It's not stage 4, but it's not good. You have a 65% chance of survival." That is a hard thing to hear because I have this outrageous optimism, and that is hard to hear. And then she tells you, you know, this is what we have to do. You're gonna have to have chemotherapy, you're gonna have to have surgery, and you're gonna have to have radiation. So I ended up having 20 treatments of chemotherapy, 5 months of it, and then surgery and then radiation therapy last September. So it was a journey.
So SabesWings really saved our hide because we had just, you know, we had a little money when it started. We had some savings, and it just, without her income, it just goes down, 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 down. And we got down to where we really, you know, it was just paycheck to paycheck, just barely eking by. And we were just about to really start going into debt. And that's right about the time that we got our mortgage covered for 3 months. It's difficult, you know, it's already bad. And then once you go under a certain point, once you're worried about losing your home, you know, and that's what you guys really saved us for that.
It's hard for me to put into words what SabesWings has done for us, because when we got home and we were trying to navigate through the new treatment and what treatment has done to Kendall as far as her eyesight and her hearing, and receiving news that a lot of those bills won't be covered by insurance, and receiving those bills and knowing that I wouldn't be able to afford the things she needed to hear and to see. And SabesWings helped us with those things at that time. And it's not only just the finances, it's the fact that I could focus on what I needed to focus, and taking the finances away as a worry, and it took that away physically, you know, the bills, but it also it allowed me to focus on the time that I have with her. instead of coming home from work and school exhausted and then worried about how we're gonna pay bills, I was able to take her on bike rides and enjoy our time together, which is so much more than just paying a bill. It's so hard to put into words what it's done for me and for her and for us and our family. And I'm just so thankful that SabesWings has blessed us. We did it. And I'm so proud of her. She's so strong. She has the best attitude. She's the most resilient, happy, joyful little girl that I've ever been around. And I honestly just feel so thankful and honored to be her mom. Cancer will not be our life, and that we will enjoy every single day. Every day is a gift. But we just love living life together. We have so much fun, and I will never, ever let cancer take that away from us.
So to talk about the journey with SabesWings, from start to finish, as we were looking for help to our family members and friends to look for financial assistance, my mother, Annette, she came across SabesWings, and then my mom told me that, SabesWings was granting us financial assistance. It was the first ray of hope that we had financially to give us encouragement and take us in a positive direction. And my mom spoke the world of your organization and the other Candace. And she told me that, she wanted me to connect with you guys. And I remember receiving the call from Candace Saberhagen. Stacy was I think she was in chemo treatment that day and struggling, and I was anticipating the call and immediately ran outside in the hallway of the doctor's office. And, as soon as I heard Candace's voice, it was literally like the voice of an angel. She gave me this calming, soothing, overwhelmingly loving feeling that I hadn't had yet. And she made me aware that SabesWings was going to be donating to us. And that was the first sizable donation that we had received. I just couldn't thank you guys enough for that support. There were a lot of dark moments at that time, knowing that we were running low on funds. We had already maxed out a few credit cards. And we didn't know where this was going to go. And Kenneth and I talked for a brief time, and I felt inspired. But after I hung up, I immediately dropped to the floor and just broke down a little bit, just because I was so thankful and blessed. And I knew that there were people out there, strangers, that were willing to help.
He just shared that he broke down. I didn't know that until just now. But I remember he came back different. And there was something different after he spoke with Candace. Like, there was hope, and it meant everything in that moment to see him, because one of the hardest things for me as a cancer patient is to see how it affects people around me. I can do this, you know, I can go through treatment, it's hard, that's fine, but the people that I love the most that are hurting because of what happens to me is so hard. So being able to see him come back in after that conversation with Candace was so special for us in this journey that we've been on, because I knew at that moment that we were going to be okay. And I truly believe that our success and our financial ability to be able to raise money has solely been because of our amazing, sweet partnership with SabesWings. I believe that full-heartedly.
Brett and I are so grateful to have everybody in the audience share this evening with us. We're thankful for the time you've taken to listen to our stories, and we're thankful for the overwhelming goodness that you bring to this room tonight. Not only do we thank you, but our cancer warriors thank you. We want their voices to be heard and to be strong. We don't want the image of sweet little Kendall or the courage of Katie or the tenacity of Stacy or the ongoing and genuine love of Tammy to fade. We are their voice. And together, SabesWings will lift many more needs.
So thank you to everybody who has given to SabesWings, and we continue to need your support from each and every one of you. Love you.
I love you more. I love you this much more than you love me.
It's not possible.